On today's podcast, I had professional ping pong player Wally Green on. Wally has a really crazy story of growing up in the projects and then being shipped off to Germany, where he learned and developed his ping pong skills and eventually became a pro. But along that journey, he also signed a deal with Rockstar Games to make a ping pong game, the first ever. So it's really cool to hear about how that game was developed and all the work he put in. He also goes through his journey as a professional ping pong player and what it was like competing against the Chinese and just all of the little things that he had to do to create the wins for himself in his journey. We also go through his business. He's now opened up different ping pong bars, which are really exciting. And overall, just his story inspired me and all of his energy. And, it was just a really great interview. So make sure you stay to the end. Now, let's jump into it. Are you looking to grow your real estate investing business? My company, Future Flipper, can help. We've taught hundreds of people all over the country how to flip, wholesale, and buy rental properties. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your investing journey. Whether you're trying to get your first deal or scale your company, Future Flipper can help. We have courses, coaching, and events for all levels of investors. So if you want to take the next step, go to futureflipper.com and book a free consultation to see how we can best help you. Once again, that's futureflipper.com. If you've ever wanted to invest with me on my real estate deals, it's now possible. At Pineda Capital, we're purchasing value-add real estate all across the country. This includes multifamily, commercial, and land development. The best part is, with my network, social media presence, and marketing strategies, we're able to get the very best deals that others don't have access to. You can join in with me on those deals if you're an accredited investor. If you want to learn more, head over to pinedacapital.com to see our current opportunities. Once again, that's pinedacapital.com. Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where our mission is to invest.
I only expect to make money in things that I understand.
Innovate.
It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past.
And inspire. I am much more likely to hit my goal just due to putting it out there.
You're now rocking with the best.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ryan Pineda Show. Today, I've got a first in the show's history. We've got a professional ping pong player on. And let me tell you, he's got a crazy story of growing up in the streets and now doing some amazing things with ping pong and other stuff. So, man, what up, Wally Green?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Dude, happy to have you here in Vegas.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we were talking pre-show, and, man, you got a lot of things to share. I'm excited, man. Why don't you tell these people kind of how you got in the sport of ping pong? Because this is not something people just grow up dreaming to do.
Right. Yeah, so I grew up in the projects with heavy domestic violence. We really didn't have much at all, and I started joining gangs at an early age. So by 13, I've already acquired guns at 13. I was already really crazy. I was just taking everything that was happening at home. I was using that against everyone outside. So I blamed everyone for what was going on in my home. And it was a crazy life, and I hated ping pong, by the way.
Yeah.
They actually had ping pong in my high school, and I really hated it. At the time, I was playing football, and I would walk by the lunchroom and see kids playing ping pong, and I'd be like, look at these guys with short shorts and a stick.
Yep.
So I used to make fun of them. And the way I started playing was I was shooting pool. I went to a pool hall to shoot some pool. I had this expensive stick that I stole, and I got hustled for some money, got pretty upset, took the pool stick, slammed it down, and this pool stick shattered. And I was really pissed off. And once again, I had to blame someone else for something that was going on with me. And I saw some kids playing ping pong, and I walked over there. I says, hey, I want to get a hit. And it was like, you play this? And I was like, no, I don't play this. And then they were like, all right. So I took the pad out of his hand, and my object was actually to hit the kid with the ball.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't trying to play. I was trying to hit the kid just to be, not a nice person. So I hit the ball. The ball went on the table, and it was like, oh, my God, do you play? And I was like, no, I don't play this. It was like, you have to go check out this club. There's a ping pong club. And I said, what? There's a club where people actually play this? There's no way there's a place where people gather and play ping pong. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And so the athlete in me wanted to go check it out.
Right.
So I went down to this club and saw there was a pool hall, another pool hall that was half ping pong, half pool. And people were playing, and everyone was hitting the ball, boom, boom, going back. And everyone was like, yelling, and sweating and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is a sport. This is really a sport.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play. And no one would play with me. Not one person would play. Everyone, I'm tired because, this sport is very cliquey. And if they don't know you, they won't play with you. So
Right.
I didn't have anyone to play with. Once in a while, there was an old guy who would come and hit with me a little bit. And then eventually, one day I'm sitting down, a guy comes up to me and he says, hey, do you have a partner? And I was like, no, I don't have a partner. He goes, hey, I'm looking for a partner, and I'll pay you $20 every time you play me. I was like, whoa, what? $20? Whoa, $20, because that was a hustle for me, right? So I was like, oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I wasn't great, but I could hit a ball. Any sport I can basically do. So I played with this guy. We'd have some talks, and, we became cool, right, because he was paying me $20. And I would talk about my life, and I was always straight up about, my family life and what was going on in my life and things like that. But for him, he didn't really understand, how deep it was, right? Because if you've never been in that life or you never met anyone in that life, then you can't really understand how a kid walks around with guns. Like, you can't understand this, right? It's almost like this is TV. And one day I went to the club, a gun fell out of my bag. He saw it, and first thing I thought was my $20 is gone. I'm never gonna. That's it. And I picked up the gun, put it in the bag, and just left because I didn't want to stay around to see what he's gonna do. He calls me the next day. He says, "Hey, are we still playing?" And I was like, "What? All right, it's $20." So I went. I meet the guy. We still play. The guy says, "Hey, I want to invite you to my home." Right? And I thought it was a little crazy. Why would you invite the kid who just dropped a gun in front of you to your home? Like, it's weird, but okay. He's paying me $20, so let's go. So I go to his home. I meet his family, play ping pong with them. They have a ping pong table in the house. And like I always say, I think he was trying to show me what family was, what a real family was.
Right.
And I did that. And then the guy goes, hey, I really want to help you. And at that time, I was like interested in the sport a lot. He goes, I really want to help you. I have a connection in Germany, and I want to pay for you to go to Germany to learn ping pong. What? And that's how it started. That's how it just started right there.
Do you think he just wanted to get you out of your situation and just get you in a different spot?
Yes, for sure. Because I spoke with him a lot of times. Like he became the person that I could talk to. So when things happened, I would say, "Oh man, yesterday was crazy. Like, I almost got shot yesterday." Or I would talk to him like this.
Yeah.
So but for him, he listened, but he didn't really understand, right? He's thinking I'm some kid who's just like looking for attention. That's probably what he thought until he saw the gun, and then everything came into perspective. So he definitely knew that I was gonna either wind up dead or in jail for life.
Right.
And he was an angel that wanted to help.
That's amazing, dude. So this guy, your guardian angel, essentially just sends you off to Germany.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
At that time, I was 17, around 16, 17-ish. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens next?
So, like I mentioned before, the only thing I knew about Germany was Hitler. I didn't know anything about Germany, right?
Yeah.
I only know, so I'm like, first I was like, why am I going to Germany? But, it's a free trip. I'm going to get out of the hood. I'm going to go somewhere, right? No sport has took me anywhere. Played basketball, played football, played volleyball, played tennis.
Yep.
I didn't go anywhere. Now I get to go out of the country. So I left, went to Germany, and when I was in Germany, everyone was so nice to me. People like in your face. Oh, you're from New York. Oh, you're American. Whoa, we love you. Oh my God, you're amazing, and this and that.
Right.
And I just wanted to punch someone in the face. Like, I just, because just because I was in Germany didn't mean that my mindset changed, that I changed all of a sudden.
Right.
No, I was still the same person, just in a different place.
Right.
And it took a while for me to actually be able to change the mindset, right? So like I mentioned before, there's something called killing you with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally what happened. Like, I got killed with kindness. Like, I wanted to punch people in the face. Right? For nothing. And it's hard to punch someone in the face who's telling you they love you, right? That takes a different kind of person to really punch someone in the face who's telling you they love you, you're the coolest thing, and they're like all about you. So it took a little while, but eventually something came to me and said, hey, why are you angry? You know, why do you want to be violent? You're in a different place. You're not in that with that abusive family. You're not with your gang. You're not being shot at. You're not shooting anyone. Everyone here genuinely loves you and wants to know you. So why are you angry? And then, you know, it clicked. It finally clicked after like a month or a month and a half. It clicked. And then I started to understand that not the whole world wasn't out to get me. Right. And there are people that are cool. There are people that genuinely like you, not because of what you can do for them, but because you're a cool person and they want to know you. So that was the start of the mindset. And that's why I started to change and started to open up and make friends. And Germans were my first friends that were not from America.
That's cool, man. So you're out there making friends. You're in this new environment. You're in a totally different country. You're learning ping pong from, you know, these guys. What happens after that?
So after that, I was 4 months in one place, and then I went to go meet some pros that I had met earlier during the time of trying to play ping pong. And I went there to very countryside, a part of Germany, and trained with a professional team who were definitely, you know, way bit like had no chance. I mean, I had no chance even practicing with them, but I was able to practice with them, and it was a really cool experience because, like, a lot of places in Germany, especially the very countryside, there are no black people, and if there are, they're very few.
Right.
So people, it's crazy. People knew me, even I didn't know anyone.
Because you're the only black guy.
Yeah, and they heard, and this was the rumor. So this team that I was practicing with is the best team in Champions League. So what that means is, if people follow soccer, Champions League is the top champion pro teams from all around the world come to play that one tournament, see who's the best in the world. It's the Champions League.
Right.
So this team was the number one team in the world.
Right.
In the pro level. So there was rumors that a black guy was on the team. So people were like, what? There's a black American? No way. There's no way there's a black American.
Yeah.
So I would be walking in the street, right, trying to get to practice, and people would flag me down. You know, in Germany, hitchhiking is very popular.
Really?
Oh, yeah. To get around,
People just
people
do
just
it.
all the time. It's normal. Like, nothing happens. And so I would walk in the street, and people would, hey, are you going to Grensau? Because Grensau was the place
Everyone
where
practices.
to practice.
Yeah.
And people pick me up and take me. And they're like, oh, are you the new player? And I was like, no, I don't play on the team. I'm just here to practice. But it was a great thing. And then after I came back to America, started playing a bunch of tournaments, started doing really well on the American scene, and I started to love ping pong.
Yeah.
I started to love the sport because it's so fast. You have to think so much, and you know, the adrenaline was great. And then I got a big break. I was playing a tournament in what was this, in Brooklyn? It was Brooklyn. A tournament. No, it wasn't in Brooklyn. It was in Chinatown, Manhattan. That's where it was. And I was playing this tournament, and I got to play this kid who came from China. He was visiting from China, and he played in the tournament. I guess he was the ringer. Usually a lot of these smaller tournaments might have a ringer, right? Because they want to pay the money to the ringer.
Right.
So,
Right.
So anyway, I'm playing this kid, and you know, he makes a point, and he goes, "Chow!" And I was like, "What the hell was that? What was this kid doing?" And they said, "Made a point." "Yo!" He would say these words, and I know what they meant. I was like, "What is this kid doing?" Right? And he kept doing it, and it was throwing me off my game. So I said, "All right, you know what? I'm gonna get ghetto here." So I started bringing the ghetto. So I'd be like, I make a point. I was like, "That's it, baby. Send him back. That's it." Yo, he's got no chance. Crazy. This kid, he's garbage. He's garbage. Now he's talking trash in the middle of a ping pong match. It's crazy. Yeah. And so right after that, these two people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, oh man, we love your character. We love your energy." And I was like, "Okay." And it was like, "Do you know Rockstar Games?" And I was like, "Whoa, Rockstar Games. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto." Because I'm a big Grand Theft Auto fan. "Whoa, Grand Theft Auto, yes." It's like, "Well, we're looking to make a ping pong game. Are you interested?" "What? Yes, of course." The answer is yes. Yes. I didn't even talk about pay, so nothing. Rockstar Games, yes, I'm down. Ping pong? Hell yeah. So we made this ping pong game, I think 2006, 2007. It's called Rockstar Presents Table Tennis. It was the first ping pong game ever in the world, real one. It never existed. And it got a lot of publicity behind it. A lot of people were thinking about this game because Rockstar making a ping pong game doesn't even make sense.
Right.
They only make violent games, technically, right?
Right.
So now they got a ping pong game. People are like, whoa, this is crazy. So I made this game with them, did the motion capture, where you wear those that silly looking suit with the balls on all around it. And I did that, and that was really cool. It was definitely one of the hardest things to do ever.
Why?
Doing motion capture is insanely difficult.
Wow.
And I thought it was going to be easy because, like I said, I'm an athlete. I can do everything. It wasn't easy, because the way they have it, there's markers on the floor, and you have to cover every possible angle there is, even if it doesn't exist in the sport.
Wow.
So, for example, if, this is a normal forehand.
Yep.
But you have to do a forehand like this. Nobody does it. This doesn't even exist.
Right.
But you have to do it because the video game has to cover every possible angle, even though it doesn't exist in real life. So, and also movement markers are really hard. So if you start with your left foot and you go forward, you come back, you have to end with your left foot. So those things were really difficult. And you have to cover every angle of movement. So I did this with them.
How long did that take?
Oh, this took weeks. Like this was a
Just
lot of
covering
shoots.
all the movements.
And there was a lot of me making mistakes, like starting with my left, coming back with my right. And we did this, and the game was a huge success. It was voted best sports game of the year, beat every game.
Yeah.
And because it was an easy game to play. It was hard to master, but it was very easy to start.
Right.
And it was pretty fun if you never played. I mean, there was no ping pong game.
Yeah.
Right. So after that, I decided, I was playing a lot of tournaments. I was playing very well. I wanted to play pro. And the thing that you need to play pro is money, right? It costs a lot of money if you're going to travel around the world and play ping pong, right? And then what's the what do you get out of it? It's not like, you're going to travel around the world and make a lot of money. No, you're making zero, actually. You're making literally zero, right? Especially when
the
you
tournaments
first start.
aren't paying nothing.
Not to you if you're not winning.
Yeah. One guy's making money.
One guy's
Probably
making
not even like that much.
Well, maybe top 16.
Yeah.
Can get some. But yeah, you're not getting the money, so you're just there.
What? Out of curiosity, like, what do the top ping pong players make?
So like big tournaments can be like 100K.
Okay.
And it also depends on where you are. Like, for example, the top ping pong players in China are rich.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, what? They're big superstars, man. Man, these guys driving Lambos and everything. you see a guy in a Lambo pulling up. What do you do? I'm ping pong pro. What? Really? No, but seriously, like the top players make money because they're the best in their country. They have all these endorsements, especially in China. Those, that's why it's so. People wonder why China is the best. China is the best because if you make the team, your life is changed. You go from peasant to like super star. Yeah. Right. It's over and it's overnight. If you make the team, which is making the put like this, China is so good that the Chinese national team members have a really hard time winning the Chinese national tournament. That's how good it is. Right. So it's very difficult to make the team, and if you do, your life is straight. Yep. So so. I forgot where we were at. I got into China. I was so happy.
So you decide you want to become a pro.
Yeah, so I decided I wanted to play pro, and I wanted to travel the world. I got experience being in Japan for the video game, which was cool. So I wanted to travel. I wanted to play. I wanted to be on that pro tour circuit, and I needed money to do it. Right. There was no way I was going to do it by myself. So I told Rockstar Games, says, hey, do you think you guys would sponsor me? I want to play pro. I want to play around the world. And I would wear like, the Rockstar logo and stuff, shirts and stuff like that. And they were like, yes. It wasn't even like a discussion. Yeah. Because, I mean, when I worked with the motion capture, I did everything that they wanted me to, and I went beyond. Like, I just gave all of myself to it. To not really make any money. Yeah. Made a little bit of money, but nothing major. Right. But I still was all in, no matter what they wanted to do. Wanted to do 100 takes? Okay, let's go. And I knew that I would want to get sponsored by them. and they agreed to sponsor me. And so they paid me about $30,000, $35,000 each year to play ping pong. So I had $35K just to play ping pong.
Yeah.
To travel around the world and play ping pong. That was it. And I was really smart about budgeting my money because $30K is not a lot of money.
Right.
But if you're smart,
you can work on it.
you can work on it.
Yep.
So I would travel in a year, like maybe 13 to 15 countries. And I would be really smart about it. I would say, okay, what tournament do I want to play? I want to play German Open. Yes, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, Korea, China, and Japan is within 3 months of each other. I'm just going to go find a place to stay, and I'm going to travel from there, and that's how I'm going to get to everywhere.
Yeah.
So I would do the tournaments that were clustered together, especially Asia, the tournaments clustered together, right? So I would do China, Japan, Korea, because those 3 tournaments are actually within the same let's say 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
So I would just go live in Japan.
Yeah.
And I'd find a really cheap place.
Yep.
Stay there. That'd be like my station, and then travel like this. Go to Korea, play the tournament, and then the next week would be Japan, and then travel. So I was really smart on how to use the money that they gave me. And also, I had to make something for myself.
Yep.
Right? So I would figure out, okay, this is how much I need. Let me add a little extra, because somebody taught me about that. When I first started doing budget, I would and somebody looked at it, said, do not add exactly. He was like, come on, you got to add maybe 100 to 200 more on everything that you need, just in case.
Yeah.
So I would have also, I would have like maybe, a couple of G's to have in my pocket, like this. And so I did that, played all over the world for the U.S. team, every major country in the world, and it was so fun.
Yeah. Dude, that's amazing, man. So you're doing all of this, and you do a video game, you're playing pro, you're sponsored. I mean, just like to hear the story from a kid who, was in the gangs and doing all this stuff, and then one guy just decided to give you a shot, and then like look at what you did with it, dude. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, after going pro and just going on those tours and stuff, like what ends up happening after that?
So, like I said, I played all over the world. First, I had to find my identity in the sport. I mean, that was the hardest part because I didn't belong in this sport, actually. You could see, like, you could look at me and be like, yeah, this guy doesn't play ping pong. Like, for real, like, I did not belong in this sport at all. Like, I was very out of place, like, very out of place.
Just like what Rockstar said with your character, just being way different than
just
everyone.
being way different than everyone else. There was no one like me in this sport. I don't even think there is till today. There are some, but it's not really. And like I had this very hip hop, very ghetto swagger vibe, and people weren't into that. They were more calm, more chill, more very focused.
Yeah.
And I had to figure out an identity for myself.
Yeah. Do you want to conform or just be who you are?
Exactly. And the conforming thing wasn't working.
Yeah.
At all. Like, it wasn't. I mean, I tried, but I just didn't feel comfortable. When I would play matches, I'd be nervous, and I tried to be quiet. And then when I really figured it out, I played China. So my first 2 pro tours, first one was German Open. I got smoked. I think in the total tournament, I got 5 points. Total tournament.
Yeah.
Not just one person, the total.
Yeah.
Got smoked. Then I went to Dutch Open. Dutch Open was the second one. And this is when I found my character. I played my first match, if I remember correctly. I played against England, got smoked. I think I made 4 points in 4 games.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. Then I played against Russia, smoked. I did a little better, smoked. And it wasn't that I didn't have the skill. It was just that I was super nervous, and I told you before, my mindset thought I can beat everybody.
You were relying on athleticism.
And it was not working.
Yeah.
Then in the third match, and this is when the world got to know who I was. I got to play against China, and it's crazy because I remember this guy's name. I'll never forget his name forever. I'll be 90, and I'll be telling this story. His name was Chen Junji. I can never forget this name. It's in my head like it was yesterday. I got to play against China. This is the best of the best in the world. And first game, I get killed. Second game, killed again, right? Then my friend who was German, remember the German guy I told you about? He
Yeah.
was coaching me. And I used to teach him a lot of ghetto stuff. Actually. I would teach him because he's a really wholesome German guy, but he was one of the crazier of the German guys. But, I would teach him what bo was, when he hit him bo. And so I tell him when you play, you should go bo. So he would start doing all this crazy stuff that I taught him in tournament. People were like, what's wrong with you, bro? So I would teach him all this stuff. And so I was getting killed, right? I think I lost the third game, easy. In the fourth game, he calls timeout. I go to him, he goes, Wally, come on, you have to bo. Right? So he was giving me the advice I would give him in terms of, getting hype.
Yeah.
And then, I thought about it and I went back to the table, served a fast serve, and aced the guy. And I went, bo. And everyone was looking at me like I was crazy. And then I saw the guy's face. He was like startled.
Yeah.
Served the same server again. He missed again. I was like, bo.
Yeah.
I was in his head, man. I was in his head. He got so nervous because I was so loud and nobody ever seen. Listen.
That ain't like that in table tennis.
Everyone in that huge hall was looking at this match. This American playing this Chinese. Guess what? I won that game. Yo, I beat the Chinese
like
game. It was crazy. Listen, the guy was shaking in his pants. And the next game, I come back, I'm still loud. Wow, Cho, yeah. Everyone, all these top famous players are sitting there watching this match. They're like, who is this crazy American dude making this noise, right? Now this Chinese dude is super nervous, man. I'm up, check this out. I'm up 9-6. 9-6, right? It's and the score at this time, the score is now 3 games for him, 2 games for me.
Yep.
I got 2 games against the Chinese national team player, 9-6.
And you go to 11 in ping pong.
You go to 11, right?
Yep.
And so then 9-6, the coach calls timeout. Very famous Chinese coach. And my German friend speaks fluent Chinese because he lived in China a lot. He trains in China. And the Chinese coach said, hey, if you lose to this guy, I've never saw this guy anywhere in my life, anywhere. If you lose to this guy, you will never play for this country again. Told the guy, yelling at him because this was like an embarrassment.
Yeah, you had been smoked the whole tournament.
Yeah, and some black dude from America who doesn't even look like a ping pong player is beating Chinese national team player.
Yeah.
It's unheard of. And he said, if you lose to this guy, you will never play in this country again. He's yelling at the guy like this. And then I did the wrong thing. And this is a message for all of you out there. If something is working, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
So what'd you do?
I got into my own head again and said, you know what? Man, Wally, you're playing well. You can win this match. No, you can't. You cannot win this match. You're playing against China, bro. Like, that's the dumbest thing to ever think that you could possibly win this match. And what I did was I said, I can win this match. Let me calm down.
And it got you nervous.
And guess what? I lost the match on that 9. 11-9. Came back, crushed me, 11-9. I lost. But I went 4-2, 11-9. 4-2 against the Chinese. And I became super popular at this point. Everyone knew who I was. It was like, that's the crazy guy from New York that makes all the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that became my thing. Just making noise and just going for crazy points and just having fun. And from there, I started to get all the interviews. Even that day, I got a huge interview. And the interview talked about what's more important. Is it the skill and physical aspect, or is it the mental aspect? Because I definitely was nowhere near as skilled as him, but I was in his head.
Yeah.
So on the mental side, I was winning the match.
Yeah.
And this was a big article that came out. What's more important? Is it your mental or is it your skill? And from there, everyone knew me. And then I figured out, all right,
Yeah.
I know how I'm going to be now. I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be this quiet dude. No, I'm going to make noise. I'm going to fist pump. And I'm just going to be the Dennis Rodman of ping pong. That's what I'm going to call it. The Dennis Rodman of ping pong.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that bad guy. I started bleaching my hair, doing all these crazy designs in it, coming to tournaments, wearing bling bling chains on. And people were like, what's wrong with this dude? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And it was a great journey from there. there. Yeah.
Yeah. We all know that I love creating passive income through rental properties, but did you know that you can create passive income through owning an e-commerce store? My company, Lunarecom, can build and manage a store for you on Amazon or Walmart. We'll handle everything from starting the store, picking the products, and all the day-to-day operations. It's completely passive for you. If you'd like to learn how store owners are making thousands a month in passive income, head over and watch the case study at lunarecom.com. It will explain everything you need to know about the industry and why I'm so excited about it. So to see the case study, head over to lunarecom.com. Most people want to get rich at all costs. They make sacrifices with their family, their health, and their faith, all in the pursuit of money without even realizing it. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if you could grow your wealth in all areas of life? Well, it's possible, and that's why I created The Wealthy Way. It's a community of people striving to grow together in all areas. And we have multiple tools for you to use that are completely free. You can get access to the Wealthy Way Planner, where you can set goals and hold yourself accountable on a daily basis. We also have our Wealth Builder Academy, which is over 4 hours of content teaching you how to manage your time, create the right goals, and all the biggest secrets I've used to grow my life, not only in my net worth, but in all aspects. Lastly, we have our Discord community where thousands of wealth builders are all over the world encouraging one another and growing together. And once again, all of this is completely free. There are no upsells, there are no hidden catches. For me, this is a passion project and I want to build a community of like-minded people. So if you want to start living the wealthy way today, go to wealthyway.com. There you can get all the free resources like the course, planner, and Discord community. So go to wealthyway.com. Dude, that's so funny. And I think it's a reminder too, because I get a lot of people who, whatever their profession is, right? Like people are like, how should I get on social media? Like, what should I do? And I'm like, dude, just be you. Like,
Yes.
be the version of you. You don't have to try to be like me. You don't have to try to be like somebody else. Like, you have unique characteristics.
Yes.
Now, there are things that you do need to do to be successful. Like, you know, all ping pong players have, you know, certain fundamentals and skills
Yes.
that they follow, but they all do it in their own unique style. And, you know, you found your style later on. What I found interesting, speaking of the mental side, we were talking about this pre-show. You know, you talked about how you were getting killed during all these matches.
Yes.
But you started to understand that for you, you were playing a different game. It was about winning your game and having the small wins.
Right.
Tell me about that.
So most of my matches, I was getting killed. I was definitely the worst person in the pro level. I was at the bottom of the bottom, right? Like I said, I started at 17. Most of these guys started at 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, as kids. And but I was a great athlete. Like I was MVP in every sport I ever played. I was always a great athlete. And I thought my athleticism could get me the wins. And I didn't respect those athletes. That was another part about it. I didn't have respect for what they did, and that's why I thought I could beat them easily. And I was getting killed 11-1, 11-2, 11-3, 11-1. So then, you know, there comes a time when you eventually get tired of getting killed, right? And I said, okay, I have to approach this a different way. What can I do better? What can I do better? And so I thought, you know what? Let me just stop trying to win the match. Let me get 5 points.
Right.
If I get 5 points in one game out of 4, I win. And so I would fight for these 5 points. And in my head, I got to get 5. And I fight for each point to get 5. And when I would get 5, you would hear me, I would go, oh! That's another reason why everyone knows me.
Yeah.
Because they thought I was mad. They were like, why is this guy celebrating? He just lost 4-0. He got only 5 points in one game. It's because I made a goal that actually made sense. Right? Some people call it smart goals. But yeah, I made a goal that made sense, that was obtainable, and then when I reached that goal, I celebrated it. And because I celebrated it and I really believed that it was a win for me, that made me want to do it again.
Right.
So then it went from 5 points to, okay, let me get 5 points every game. If I can get 5 points every game, then I win.
Right.
And I would lose 4-0, but I got 5 points. I'll go, yeah! Jump around like a crazy person. And people be looking at me like, yo, the dude, this is the happiest loser we've ever seen. But it wasn't that I was a happy loser. I was actually a happy winner.
Yeah, you won your game.
Yes, I made the goals, and I achieved my goals. And that's how I got better.
And I think that's so important. That's why I wanted you to share it, because when you told me that, it made me think about everything that I've accomplished in my life, you know. we all start from the bottom, right? And however far up we go, right? But I remember starting from the bottom, and I would see these other guys who were flipping way more houses than me, like doing way better, right? And I'm just getting started. They've been doing it way longer than me. And for most people, it's easy for them to play the comparison game. They're like, oh, man, like, this guy's doing X and whatever. And I remember, I had just bought my first few houses, and, like, it was like, dude, I'm not comparing myself to this guy. Like, I'm winning. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then, going into the next year, same deal. It's like, what are my goals? I can't get influenced by what other people are doing.
Right.
And it just continues to go that way no matter what I'm doing. Like, when I decided to go on social media, I was like, okay, who are the best guys? What are they doing, right? Like, you got to know who the top guys are. And so you see it and you're like, okay, I'm not going to worry about how many views they get or how many subscribers they got, because it's not relevant to me. All that I can control is like the wins for me.
Yes.
And I think that's so important, especially when you're, on one hand, I'm not really competing with those guys. You're actually facing these guys, and like they're winning their game, but you're still winning your game.
Right.
That's hard to do.
Yes.
It takes a lot of mental strength. I also thought it was kind of funny. We were talking a little bit about China and how dominant these guys are. Because I didn't know, because I play ping pong for fun, and I'm like you, just a good athlete, and so I'm the best one here at the office. I don't play, but I can just play from athleticism. And it's funny because you see the demographics in ping pong and stuff, and you're like, okay, it's usually just Asian dudes, right? Yeah. And I just remember watching the Asian guys, and I'm half Filipino, and they all hold their paddle upside down.
A pen hold, yeah.
It's called a pen hold?
Yeah.
Okay. I was being a little more racist with it. I just called it Asian style. So so I was playing pen hold. I didn't know that's what it's called. And I just learned to play like that because I saw them. I'm like, well, if these guys are the best, I'll play like this. So that's how I play now.
Wow.
Do you play like that?
No.
No, you play normal?
I play normal, but when I'm teaching, when I'm giving a lesson, I actually hold my paddle like that. So I have a little paddle that I always play with all the time, and it's about that big, and I always hold it pen hold whenever I'm teaching. I actually don't hold it normal. And the reason why I hold it pen hold, so the pen hold style actually has the best forehand in the world. It's the best forehand by far, and it's because to make a great forehand, right, your angle of your racket should be down.
Yeah.
So it should be down so that when you follow through, you can use this down motion to go up to give that wrist motion, right?
Yeah.
When you play pen hold, the racket is already down, see? So the racket's going to be like this. So the racket's down. When you play shake hand, you have to actually bend your wrist. So that puts a little stress on your wrist. So when I teach, I hold it pen hold, always. Always pen hold, because it's just so much more comfortable, especially when you're doing, with your students, you're doing a lot of repetitions over and over. So I just hold it pen hold.
Right. And you're a lefty.
Lefty, yes.
How many lefties are there? Is that pretty rare too?
Pretty rare. But at one time in history, this is crazy, at one time in history, in a sport where there are not a lot of lefties, France had a full team of lefties. France at one time, all the team was lefty, except for one guy that they used to play doubles who was right-handed.
And
you wouldn't have a right-handed.
Did they just do that to try and throw people off, or what?
No. It just happened that everyone was lefty, which was weird, doesn't never happen.
Super weird. Speaking of paddles, you're telling me that China, manufactures so many of these paddles.
Yeah.
And they get stuff that no one else gets.
Oh yeah. So for example, like the Chinese national team rubbers that you put on your blade, you can't get that. You can't get the exact one that they use. So they have versions of it for which they sell to people. They have the really trash ones that still label the same thing. And those are going to be the cheaper ones. And they have the expensive ones, which are going to be provincial. Like rubbers from the provincial teams that you can get, but then they're going to charge you a lot of money. But from Chinese national team, you're never going to get it unless someone knows someone in the Chinese national team. Like when I was playing, I used to give hip-hop CDs to them, to some of the players, and they would give me their old rubbers. But their old rubber, they used for 1 week. For me, that was brand new. It was brand new rubber for me. For them, it was old. For me, it was brand new.
Yeah.
So I would have the best Chinese rubbers. But yeah, that's the only way you can get it. You either get it from the team, from someone on the team, or you get it from a coach or you're getting provincial rubbers.
I've always wondered because I bought my paddle, and I look at like the stats of it. It's like, yeah, this one has 10 power, 10 spin, whatever, right? And I showed you my paddle. I was like all proud of it. You're like, oh yeah, this is a little beginner paddle. I'm like, hey, this paddle was pretty expensive from what I remember. But what do you think about that? Like, do these rubbers do you have to find the rubber that fits your style?
Yeah, so that's the hard thing about this game.
Yeah.
Most sports they have a lot of equipment, but it's nowhere near the amount of equipment in this sport.
What do you need besides a paddle?
Oh my! So for example, the paddle, there's probably over 1,000 different woods. There's over 1,000. Then how many companies make these woods? There's so many kind of different woods. Then the rubbers, forget about it. There are I can't tell you how many different rubbers. So first you have to figure out what do you want to use. You want to use short pips. You want to use long pips. You want to use hard rubber. You want to use soft rubber. You want to use a thicker rubber. You want to use a thinner rubber. And the only way you can do this is by trial and error. And these things actually, to normal people, cost a lot of money. If you think about it, look, one sheet of rubber, just one sheet of rubber is anywhere from $60 to $100. One.
At the pro level.
You need two.
Yeah.
You got to have two.
Yeah.
Right? The wood can cost you, for something really good, is going to cost you anywhere from like $180 to $300.
Right.
For a paddle. Right? So, for people who aren't playing pro or don't really have it like that, that's a lot of money to pay $60 for one rubber. You make one mistake, you hit it on the corner of the table, that's it, done.
What about how long does rubber and the paddle last?
The blade can last you a long time. Like for a normal person, the blade can last you for years.
Right.
That's the wood.
Yep.
A normal person, some people change their rubber maybe once, a year or once 6 months. Chinese team change their rubber every week.
What about you? What's
me? When I was playing a lot, I would change my rubber maybe every month.
Okay.
Maybe every month, I would change it for sure. At least every month because I was playing a lot.
Another thing I thought about was on the rubbers. Do people have different ones for forehand and backhand?
Yes. So for example, on my particular racket, I have the same rubbers, but they're different, right? So there are rubbers that create top spin. There are rubbers that create opposite spin. There are rubbers that create no spin, right? So I use the rubbers that create top spin. But on my forehand, the rubber's harder. And on the backhand, the rubber's softer.
Why?
Because on my forehand,
You want power?
my forehand is very strong. So I don't need that super bounce.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So my forehand rubber is a little bit more control, but it's very spinny. So I get a lot of topspin and good control. On my backhand, that rubber is a little bit more bouncy, right? Because I like to block, I like to pick hit, I like to also topspin.
Yeah.
So it's geared towards the way my backhand style is. Some people have pips, pimple rubber.
Yeah, that. That's like the old school rubbers.
Yeah, but people use it. So for example, the pips rubber can produce no spin balls, flat no spin balls. So people use that. Then there's the rubber that's called long pips. And long pips is a rubber that most ping pong players hate this rubber because you don't have to be as good as someone to beat them. What this rubber does is it gives opposite effect.
So you're just not used to it.
No, exactly. So if I give you underspin, you hit the ball, hits the rubber. So this is how it works, right? The pimples are longer than normal, and they go like this and out. So if a ball's spinning this way, hits the rubber, it goes in, out. The ball comes the opposite direction.
Whoa.
So people use this are like defensive players who like to block close, give you these weird balls. And if you see people chop, a lot of choppers use long pips in the backhand. Now they went to short pips, but before it was long pips, right? So think about it. If you chop and the ball is spinning like this, the rubber goes in and out, and you go with the same direction. Now you're giving me 2 times more underspin than the top spin that I gave you.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's when you play these people, it takes a lot of thinking.
You got to look at it and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be different.
It's going to be different, yes.
That's interesting, man. Super cool. You were also telling me you started some bars and stuff. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so me made a club. I co-founded a club called Spin. And Spin is a ping pong bar, nightclub, restaurant, event space. One of the best first dates. It is, I'm going to say one, it is the best first date place in the world.
I have to go to one. So how many locations you got?
So we have 8 altogether. We have 2 in New York City and 6 across the country.
Where are the other 6?
So we got San Francisco, we got Philly, we got DC, we got Boston, Toronto, and I'm missing one. What's the other one? I'm missing one somewhere. Which one did I miss? Did I said DC, I said Philly, and I'm missing one. Did I say Boston?
Yeah.
I said Boston. There's one more that's not coming in my head now.
Well, we need to get you guys on the West Coast, dude. All you got San Fran.
We used to, San Fran. That's the one. Did I say San Fran?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
We used to have one in LA. So the one in LA was a collaboration with the Standard Hotel.
Okay.
But it didn't really work out. Whenever you do something with a hotel, it's more of their kind of feel.
Yeah.
So that was just, and then before that, the first collaboration we did was with the Mondrian. That was the first one we ever did in LA. Was the Mondrian.
Okay.
Then we did the Standard, and then So we always now we're looking for a space. I want to do Venice because there's not really much in Venice.
Yeah.
But you really need corporate to do well.
Yeah.
For this kind of business to do well, you really need the corporate events, and we get tons of corporate events.
So how has it been transitioning to like businessman after your ping pong?
Oh, it's fun. It still feels like ping pong because it's a ping pong business. so it's really fun because like I live what I live and do what I love.
Yeah.
So for me, it never feels like work. It just feels like fun. It's always fun. It's everything I do is based around.
It's not fun. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. That's one of my rules. If I don't enjoy it or if it's not fun for me, I won't do it. I will not. It doesn't matter what it is.
It's not about the money.
Yeah. No. It's definitely not about the money. It's more about the passion of it. So. I'll give you an example. And just the other day it happened again. I got asked to do some TED Talks. I just got another one, and I don't like that kind of talks. I really don't like it. So people get angry at me. They say, "Oh man, you should do it. You should do it. It's a huge opportunity." And blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Yo, but I don't like it. I don't like to get up and just talk. I like this.
Yeah,
I like a conversation."
Yeah.
I want to.
You don't want to give a speech.
No, I can't. I don't. I really don't like it. And I feel like when you give a speech, people are like, yeah, this guy's just talking. When you conversate, even though they're saying, yeah, this guy's just talking, you can connect, and then you can go back and forth.
Yeah.
So, but now I got approached 2 days ago to do another TED Talk, but this one is a youth one. So anything with kids is very hard for me to say no.
Yeah.
Even though I still don't want to give a speech.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to work with them, and I'm going to say, well, if we do this, I want to have kids present, and I don't want to do a traditional TED Talk. I want to do a conversation with the kids as a TED Talk. Yeah. So if they go for it, it's fine. If not, I got to figure out how I want to do it.
Right.
Because I do anything for the kids. If it's for kids, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, as a kid, I had a really horrible life, and there's a lot of kids these days that are in the same situations I was going through, and anything that I can do to inspire and motivate them, I'm always down to do it.
Yeah, no, I love that, dude. And speaking of fun, you were telling me right after the show you're going to go to Venice Beach and go play
paddle tennis.
What is paddle tennis?
Oh, man, that's one of the greatest sports ever. I think I love paddle tennis as much as I love ping pong. I think it's even. And it might be a little bit more, only because, I live in New York where it gets cold.
Nobody knows what paddle tennis is. Like, is it like pickleball? Like, what's the deal?
Right. So paddle tennis is played on a smaller tennis court. So it's the closest game you're going to get to tennis. It's the closest, right? It's a tennis ball. We have special paddles that we play with. And everything is similar to tennis, except you have to serve below the waist, right? And it's mostly doubles. There is singles, but doubles is where the fun is at because, you have 2 people at the net going pom, 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 pom. So it's like playing
super
ping.
fast.
Yeah, it's actually faster than tennis. It's so fast. Like I get some tennis pros that haven't played paddle tennis before, and I have them come to the net and let me blast balls at you to the net. You got to remember the distance shorter, the ball's traveling faster, and it reaches you quicker. And they have a lot of time volleying the ball because it's so fast.
It's kind of like a serve all the time.
Yes. And it's just so fun. It's so athletic. And Venice Beach is the mecca of the sport. So I can't wait to go. I mean, I have a friend there, right? His name is Wolf. Call him Wolf, and he runs like all these amazing tournaments and all these great events there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go see him and
That's
then
dope.
play. Yeah.
What's the difference between that and pickleball?
So pickleball players can get mad at me now.
I've heard pickleball is like the fastest growing sport.
Yeah, it's the number one growing sport in the country.
I see them building these pickleball
Everywhere.
courts here in Vegas. Like
Everywhere.
I'm like, should I be like building one? Like, what are we doing? What is this?
So pickleball was originally made for elderly people.
Yeah, that's what I always thought.
Yes, it
and
was
now everyone's playing it.
Yeah, so it was originally made for elderly people, and young people just started playing it. It's a sport, in my opinion. Like, it's an easy sport to pick up. Anyone can pick up a pickleball and hit it. It's very easy. There's nothing complicated about the sport. So because it's so easy to play, everyone can play it. So you get elderly people playing it. You get younger people playing it. It's not like ping pong where if you suck, you suck.
You can't play with them if they
Yeah,
suck.
they hit the ball over the table, off the table. They can't keep it on.
Yeah.
Pickleball is a lot easier. Even if you are not athletic, you have a lot of space to hit a ball over a net.
Right.
And it's grown a lot. That's what we're trying to do for paddle tennis. I mean, now the name of paddle tennis has changed. It's called pop tennis now. So that's
better marketing.
Yeah, see, he knows. Like,
Yeah.
He
I like
immediately
that.
say better marketing. You're
That's
right.
way better.
Yeah, so you guys hear it. He said it's better. Yeah, so that's what happened. So they rebranded the sport and called it pop tennis now.
Okay.
And the mecca of it is Venice Beach.
Wow, that's cool, man. What as far as ping pong goes, I mean, I know it's called table tennis. Like,
Yeah.
do people get offended?
Yeah,
Like-
they do all the time.
Yeah.
Of course. You know me. I don't care, bro.
So they get mad if
Oh, they
people
get
call
mad.
you-
They get mad when I say it. But no. Here's the background of that. I'm like, if you're gonna get mad, at least know why you're getting mad.
Right.
First of all, the sport was called ping pong. Let's get it right. Second of all, the number one players in the world by far call it what? Ping pong. I've never heard in China say table tennis. They say ping pong. Everyone says ping pong. Ping pong, Cho, right? Ping pong
Where
player.
did table tennis come from?
Go. Let's get to the good stuff. So, what happened was Parker Brothers decided that they wanted to copyright the name ping pong. Yeah, that's what happened. There's a copyright on the name of a sport which no one has never fought them on. No one's never fought this. No one. But I think if people fought it, that they would win, but no one wants to put the money up to fight this. So,
No one cares.
yeah, no one cares. So Parker Brothers copyrighted the name ping pong. Then they wanted to charge people money to use that name, right? So the U.S. Association said, we're not going to pay you money. We're just going to call it table tennis.
Yeah.
And that's why table tennis is used. Even us as Spin, right? When we first started Spin, we wanted to say Spin New York's premier ping pong club, a ping pong social club. We couldn't do that. You could get sued. So what we did was, we were sponsored. Our tables originally were from Yola, like the one you have.
Yeah.
From the same company, they sponsored our clubs. But then we had to change the sponsor to Stiga.
Okay.
Stiga is a sister company of, or however you want to call it, of Parker Brothers.
Mm.
So by having them sponsor us,
They
that
let you
allowed
use
us.
ping pong.
Yes.
Man. Hey, well,
I mean, no one.
it is what it is.
No one calls it. I mean, okay, if you go to Europe, but any Asian country I've been to,
Ping pong.
everyone says ping pong. Even in North Korea, they call it ping pong.
That's crazy.
Right? It's ping
Yeah.
pong. Ping pong is ping pong.
Dude.
Yeah, but people get mad at me. I don't care. I'm like, whatever, man. I call it ping pong. I've played all over the world. You can call table tennis whatever you want, but I like the word. And plus, ping pong is friendly. It's a friendly word, right? You tell people, hey, let's play some ping pong. Oh, I play ping pong. Or come to my ping pong club. That's friendly. It's inviting.
Yeah.
Table tennis is not a friendly word, and it's not inviting.
No, I mean, it sounds difficult. It
Yes,
sounds
it sounds hard. It sounds like
oh, I don't know if I could play that.
yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I like ping pong.
That's why I like pop tennis too.
Pop, right? That's it's so
It sounds
funny
like
you
a
said that.
fun game.
Yes, it sounds funny. A lot of people didn't like the word pop, including me, because I grew up with paddle tennis
Yeah.
all my life. But then when I thought about it, like you said, from a marketing point of view, it's way better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, dude, I've had a lot of fun talking about your
That was
career,
fun.
dude. I love that you're just being you and, being a light and just, giving back to the kids and just sharing your story, man. Super encouraging. And I know you're, getting active on TikTok. And all these other things,
that's
man.
fun.
So we'll link to your TikTok down below so people can get some of that fun stuff,
Yeah,
man.
my TikTok is very fun. It's been TikTok has been a fun journey because I never did social media, actually, never. I
Yeah.
had an Instagram page, I never used it, was never interested. And then the pandemic came, we couldn't do anything. And then I was trying to do podcasts. I wanted to be on more podcasts, and someone said, "Yo, you should get on Clubhouse."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Clubhouse!" And I got pretty big on Clubhouse. And then someone said, "Yo, you should do TikTok." I was like, "What? I'm not doing no TikTok. You crazy? That's for kids." And then let me tell you,
You like it.
oh man,
It's addicting.
I mean, I post one video every day, which is crazy. Like I've never ever in my life posted once a week.
yeah.
I do one every day, and it's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we also teach a TikTok masterclass on Clubhouse.
Oh,
So that's pretty fun too.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's great. It's a fun journey, and I'm gonna keep doing it for a while.
I love it, dude. Well, we're going to link to all your stuff down below in the show notes, man. And just want to thank you for coming on again, dude.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And next time we have a part 2, we talk about North Korea.
Oh, man, if you guys want to hear about
go.
how he went to North Korea to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
The real life Forrest Gump, dude.
Yes, exactly.
So make sure you guys subscribe. We'll have to bring Wally back on. Appreciate it. Take care. Peace.
Later.
Thanks for watching The Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to work with me, head over to ryanpineda.com. You can find my courses, coaching programs, and upcoming events. We also have free resources you can download, so head over to ryanpineda.com.